Hello, my friends. It's your old pal Peace Love Music, and we are here with some awesome guests today on episode 10 of the DeOrganized show, coming at you live on Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting. Thank you, Nick. And we have today with my amazing co-host Haddy back in action, looking extra cool with that black shirt on today. I love it. I love it. I'm not gonna say it. He knows what I'm thinking though. And we got awesome guests today. Aníbal, who has been working on a project, Music for Science. And Clara is also with him. She's a musician and also part of that project. And they are basically the project is to use music and science to onboard people in the Latin American community. You guys are connected to the Stacks LATAM group, as far as I understand, and trying to onboard more people into Stacks and the Bitcoin ecosystem through science and music. And I'm super excited to talk with them today. Aníbal, welcome. How are you? Give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having us. I'm Aníbal. I've been involved in Stacks for a very long time, since the launch of mainnet in 2021, and been listening to you guys for some time. Super happy to be here. I'm based in the US, in the East Coast, as you are, Steve, in New York.
We're neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors. And about a year ago, a bit over a year ago, I met Clara. I work on the science side. I'm a chemist. I do research for a living, and that's how I met Clara. I found out she started a foundation in Argentina relating music and science, and she's going to tell you a bit more about that. And that's how we got started, and I thought it was a great fit to bring what Clara was doing with music and science to Stacks, since it's really unique and it has a lot of value. But Clara can tell you more about that part as well. So just briefly.
I can play, actually. I can play about the project. It's easier for me.
Well, do that. Well,
No.
Yeah. Go ahead, do it.
I can introduce the project with the song. What about that?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Let us know. Yeah, tell the people about the project with the song. That's perfect.
No, and then I can explain with words, but it's much easier for me. Let's see if it sounds okay.
Sounds great.
Para decidir si sigo poniendo esta sangre en tierra, este corazón que bate su parche, sol y tiniebla, para continuar caminando al sol por estos desiertos, para recalcar que estoy vivo en medio de tanto, para decidir, para continuar, para recalcar y considerar. Solo me hace falta que estés aquí con tus ojos claros. Fogata de amor y guía, razón de vivir mi vida. Okay, that's of the first song that started. Yes, I'm Clara. I'm from
Beautiful.
Córdoba. Thank you. I'm from.
Thank you.
From a small town next to Córdoba in Argentina. With all the quarantine and all the restrictions, I started to send music to some scientists that were working in the lab. I am a musician, and I'm not particularly interested on science. I haven't been interested on science before this project. But in this context, I found it that sending music to some group of people that were using all their tools to find a solution to this situation. And it was for me something that make me inspired me to bring my tool also to make a bridge, a human bridge between all our creative process in the science and in the art. So the project started in 2020 with a group of friends sending music to the labs just to know what they were doing and to know the kitchen, behind the lab, to connect with them. And this is the origin of this project, that started with a group of friends, and we tried to use the music to communicate what they were doing in the lab. So the idea was to use the music to help the science to communicate projects. And this started a huge team that worked together, and an interactive team and multidisciplinary team that were putting all their to help this communication process to begin. So our first season was just doing videos at home and to explain what they were doing, and all this small chapter we published in our channels. And in the at the end of 2020, we decided to make a foundation because we saw the possibility connecting science and music of create through art pieces maybe help us to support projects with science and music. So we saw the possibility of using our tools, science and art, to bring them together and create some art that help us to communicate and to potentially financial support the projects that we could do. So we started with the project, and after this first season, we had 2 other seasons in the public TV in Argentina. And after these 3 seasons, I met Aníbal, and we started to think about the possibility of bringing ways to support financially our project. And that was the beginning of this project with crypto world. That wasn't actually something very familiar for us, for all the team. So it was very beautiful. It has been a very beautiful way to understand how does it work and to try to create something that bring us the possibility of connect science, art, and technology, create communities that supports new projects, new ways of create knowledge and communicate it. I hope that my English is clear enough.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, great. Great. Awesome stuff. I think what you're doing is great. I'm super inspired by the story that it came out of, the isolation and despair that we all experienced in 2020 with COVID and the lockdowns and the segregation, people being locked in their homes, and it's beautiful that it represents the human spirit taking a struggle and making it beautiful and using it to promote something of value. I love that part of the story. And I think it's great that we're all kind of, same thing with what I'm doing here with the project's called DeOrganized Media. I've only been doing this for a couple months, and it started out really where, I became integrated or involved in, I just started paying attention to what was being built on stacks in X spaces and become aware of what people are building, and then kind of took that to find my own niche and where I fill in and what I can provide to help move that space along or move this space along. And so it's very similar to what you're doing, where you take your skills and what value you can provide, which is, my handle is called Peace Love Music. Music I see as the fundamental representation of man's experience in the physical world. It's we are music, actually. We're all vibrational frequencies experiencing physical form. So we are music, So I think that being in touch with music and being able to, and you sing so beautifully and play it is very beautiful. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know all the words. Some of them, I have a little bit of high school Spanish, but it's beautiful, beautiful listening to you sing. And I love the story. So what kind of results are you seeing with the project? Do you feel like you're getting a lot of onboarding is actually something we're all working on in the space, right? So I'd love to know what's working for you and what maybe isn't working for you, and maybe we can figure out how to make it work better.
Yeah, I can pitch in there. It's been a challenge. We started almost a year ago. So season 4 of Music for Science, which is what the NFT collection is called, Manuelita. There's a story behind that too. Represents. Season 4 started recording in, what was it, November last year?
Yes, between October and November.
Yeah. October, November. And the idea was to onboard the Spanish-speaking community to Stacks. And the user experience it wasn't there yet. I think now it's getting a lot better with the Nakamoto upgrade. Today I sent a couple of transactions and they went through very fast, even contract calls, which I was very happy about.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah. So we had an attempt, and so the audience is normies that they have never used the wallet in any blockchain before. So getting started in Stacks was a challenge, and we had a few people that came in and tried and got frustrated, and we couldn't onboard them. They're still part of the audience of Music for Science, but we couldn't get them to use Stacks at that time. So we're hoping now to, we're relaunching the collection, and with a better user experience, hope to retain some of these users, because this is a way to communicate a technology that is useful for everyone. So we have seen the value that the blockchain brings to everyone in taking ownership of your own assets without the intermediary. So it's something that in the long term everyone will use, and we're trying to use this medium as well to educate the general public. But yeah, so far, going back to your question, it's been challenging, but we are hoping that it gets better now that things are faster on Stacks and we're getting more traction. The Spanish-speaking audience on Stacks is not very large. There's a great effort being done by Stacks Latam with positive results, but it's at the beginning. So we're hoping to contribute to those efforts as well.
There's something interesting. I mean, the fourth season that we decided to build it, to record it in. We decided to make it trusting that maybe this Manuelita collection would help us to pay all the first road part of this documentary. But there's something interesting, because this season is about mental health and the consensus of reality. How do you say, Aníbal, consenso de la realidad? Consensual of reality.
Yeah,
how would you translate
consensus of reality? So what do we as a whole see as the reality? And every person has a different perception of reality, and so that explores that question of how every person sees the world in a different way. You can see that in the US very clearly now, in the divide between Republicans and Democrats, but they see very different versions of the same reality. But so yeah, it explores the human mind. So there's a lot of psychology in there as well.
I love.
Yes. So
I
So-
love this. I love that subject is something I love very much. You'll often hear me say, we're all trapped in our own subjective experience. That's all we have, actually. So you're talking about coming to a consensus on what reality is, but really there is no such thing because everyone has a subjective experience. So we have to just kind of agree to be working towards our common ground areas. We have to find out where we agree and focus on those, and then transcend to the places where we don't agree. I'm sorry now, though. Please, you had something you wanted to say, and don't let me take it in a
no,
tangent
it's
because
no, but
can
it's
do-
really interesting. The thing is that we had this goal to make this Manolita NFT collection was a tool that we used to have the courage and the faith, to make this and to record all the conversations that we have between Paris and Barcelona. The beginning of this trip was that I was invited to Congress of Mental Health, and the name of this congress was Intervoice. Is the name of the congress, breaking the I would say the spell, but it's not the spell. The encanto. How do you translate encanto, Aníbal? No, estás
is that
muteado.
enchanted?
Enchanted. Okay, breaking the enchanted of the consents of reality. I mean, there are an organization
The
that
illusion.
works
It's
with
an illusion.
the illusion. Yes, breaking the illusion. Thank you for the help with the. But that was
I'm
our
learning
goal.
Spanish.
So the thing was that our motivation was really to make this season. So we decided to make it, even though this Manolita collection wasn't working so fast as we thought. And we came here, and we make all these conversations with health and with professionals of the science that searches the matter, like people that is working with articles. And so we have a lot of conversation, and we this material. And what happened was that all the institutions that had support us in Argentina were disappearing where we were recording in this last year, So the thing is that now we have all this material, and we have been with a turtle pace, on this documentary that it hadn't had financially support, but we have been because our motivation is so strong. So now that Nakamoto new system is ready, we hope that we can start to bring small pieces of what we did last year, and we can finally support this documentary with the people understanding how the technology can support these kind of projects that have been do with real people and real community the project when the technology wasn't there at the beginning. Am I clear?
Yes. You
Thank you.
put a lot of work in, and you have a lot of content, and you're starting to get to a point where you can maybe use that content more efficiently because Nakamoto's here. And and that's actually reverberated a lot throughout the Stacks ecosystem right now. There is a lot of that, a lot of projects that have been building with an eye towards fast blocks coming. And I think that we're going to actually see a tremendous amount of, over the next couple of months, a bunch of projects that are just going to start shipping all sorts of stuff that they've been waiting to build on for Nakamoto. It's still not quite there yet. I don't know if you guys caught Munib's AMA yesterday, which was
Yes.
amazing. Shout out to Rubes again for putting that together. I don't know if you know the dude, but it's he did an
Yeah, he's
awesome
great.
job. Yeah, he did great. And then I think just slowly but surely the system's getting tuned. It'll become more secure. The block times will balance out, and you'll start seeing things really take off as they tune it out. but I do think that that's it makes sense that it's harder to onboard people when we're waiting for 10 to 20 minutes per block to happen. People get, especially nowadays with the way information works on Web 2, people want instant gratification. They want it right away. So if I'm minting an NFT for a project and the NFT is not getting into my wallet for 20 minutes, they've lost my attention. So whatever I was downloading that NFT for, I'm not on it anymore. So I can see where even just that part of it might be a little bit of a hang up for you guys. So I'm not quite clear. The conference that you guys were, it's not just music, it's conversations as well that's going on, and that's been recorded. You're making a documentary with that.
Yes, our system, the Music for Science system, is to conversation with scientists that have some research, and we make a dialogue with some questions, and we try to music that will help us will help to connect all these questions. So it's a concert with it's a conversation with music, where the music help us to make the question and to put in context the conversation. So that was the system we made all these conversations. Each of them are one chapter, and the idea is to make it with all the bringing part of this conversation and all these musics that also each chapter put it into a documentary. That's the idea.
I love it. So you have these conversations and you're analyzing what the conversations are about, and then coming up with music that people may be able to identify with that will help convey the messages in those conversations to help people learn what they're talking about and make it more entertaining and engaging. It's brilliant, actually. I think it's great.
Yeah, and
Actually,
when you see the whole season, I've seen a lot of the unedited material, and it's amazing. So they have talked to psychologists, psychiatrists, particle physicists, neurobiologists, a huge range of people all around this topic of the consensus of reality from different perspectives. They went to the synchrotron in Barcelona. I worked tangentially in areas related to that, and it was really interesting how the type of things that I speak in my jargon every day at work, they were able through music and through these conversations to put it in a way that is easily understandable for a general audience. And I think that's a lot of the merit of the project, using music to translate the way scientists talk and to make it more amenable to a general public. And so one of the things that we wanted to do with the Manuelita collection is to have the community. Well, as you all know, NFTs are a great tool for bringing communities together, and the idea is to have everyone that gets the NFT participate in the production process. So now there's a lot of unedited material, and the idea is to have people that have the NFT join, have access to the unedited or partially edited material, and help process it, make decisions on how to assemble it so that it's more understandable. We did some tests pre-Nakamoto, for example, with the people. There are some people that we did on board and have their Manuelita NFTs. We had a few months ago one of the first decision taken on the production, what was going to be the music for the trailer. So Clara and her team have recorded lots of songs, and we had people choose. They would log in with their using a token-gated access to make the decision with the Manuelita NFT and decide what is going to be the song for the trailer of season 4. Are you? I see Clara grabbing the bass. Are you getting ready to play one of the songs there?
yes. It's really interesting because Manuelita, it's a character, it's a little turtle that it's a part of our childhood, because it's the character of song from a very very famous singer-songwriter called Maria Elena Walsh. She was a woman who wrote a lot of music, amazing music, for children and for their parents also, in hard times where many things couldn't be said. She uses this of music for children to give a lot of messages. So Manuelita is a very famous song when that we all in Argentina and in many countries of Latin America grow up, and it's the story of a little of an old turtle that she falls in love, and she feels that she's too old, so she goes to Paris to get more beautiful, to rejuvenecer. Aníbal, ¿cómo se dice eso? To be more young, to seem more young.
Okay.
So
Yeah, she went to
goes
Paris to get a tune-up.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
So
A
and she
facelift.
goes to, yes, exactly. And in Paris, she finds to the revolution. So she comes back, and in the trip, it's so long the trip, so she lost all in Paris, and she comes back, and she comes back with the turtle, and she falls in love with this turtle. So this is the story behind Manuelita. What do you think, Steve?
I love it. And so but that's an old story you're saying, from a time when maybe people weren't allowed to share some of that information openly, or is that
I mean, Maria Elena Walsh was a singer-songwriter that we all know, and she made a lot of music for children. In this
Right.
children music was a lot of messages. For example, it was in the dictator of Argentina, so it was a very smart tool, the music, to bring messages that still nowadays they are super I don't know how do you say that, but they are super
Relevant.
Current, yeah.
current.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know if you know much of the history of Argentina. We've gone through a bunch of dictatorships and lots of political instability, and there are things that couldn't be set straight. So there's a lot of use of metaphors.
Right, a lot of
in the music through the
censorship.
years. Yeah.
Right, censorship, and you weren't allowed to say certain things, but which I am always I am a free speech maximalist. I think people should be able to say whatever they want, no matter how ugly the truth about what they're saying is. So I think that's great. The human spirit wants to tell the truth.
But
That's why those things exist.
Sorry, there are two things interesting. I mean, using the music to say things that that can be said straight is a very beautiful way to use the music. But she also made a lot of music to accompany the childhood and to put the childhood and on the education system. So I think that nowadays, Maria Elena Walsh, bringing her message with this symbol that is the turtle Manuelita, and using this symbol to put the goal in using technology to create new systems of education, not just for children but also for us, like as humanity. We have to learn new ways to communicate, new ways to construct our community. So using Manuelita, it makes all the sense, even though nobody understand how Manuelita is related, because everybody in Argentina knows Manuelita, but nobody knows what an NFT is. So for us was a challenge to put these things together, technology and an old song. But I think there is something about the mature process that we are making as team, our community also. I mean, the community that support us and the technology all. But it's a matter of mature, and we are so convinced that in some moment people will Manuelita as an NFT means it's been a part of a project that uses technology to create new consciousness, you know. So I think the music is much more clear than my words. So I will play Manuelita. What do you think?
Please, please do. I'm sorry for delaying it to our audience. It's my fault she hasn't been singing this whole time. Please, please do.
Manuelita vivía en Peguajó, pero un día se marchó. No supo bien por qué a París ella se fue, un poquito caminando y otro poquitito a pie. Manuelita, Manuelita, ¿dónde vas con tu traje de malaquita y tu paso tan audaz? Manuelita una vez se enamoró de un tortugo que pasó. ¿Qué podré yo hacer? Ya no me va a querer. En Europa y con paciencia me podrán envejecer. Manuelita, Manuelita, ¿dónde vas? Manuelita, Manuelita, ¿dónde vas? Tanto tiempo tardó en cruzar que al fin se volvió a arrugar. Y por eso regresó vieja, vieja como se marchó. ¿Quién lo espera? El Peguajó. Manuelita, 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 ¿dónde vas? Manuelita, 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 ¿dónde vas? Manuelita, 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 ¿dónde vas?
That was amazing. Thank you. That was so awesome. I love the dynamics of the song too. The music. It starts off. I don't know if there was a key change. It sounded like it might have gone from a major to minor, but not. Gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
make a note because this is there are some arrangements there. This is not the way it originally sounds, right?
I had to imagine
Right.
it definitely got a little bit of rock in there, and I love how you carried that bass line on there too. That was hot. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
You know, there's something very interesting because each version of Manuelita, each time that I played, it's different. And in the trip, we met. For example, we were in neighborhood. A lot of communities live there, and they invited us to make a concert during this trip. And there was some Tuaregs musicians, and we started to jam. And there's a version of Manuelita with these Tuaregs, and we have a lot of different versions. So we thought that after our Manuelita collection is sold out, maybe we can start some new collection with all the structs of these versions of Manuelita. It could be next collection.
Very cool. That would be interesting. So like they would all be different versions. So you could have you meant a collection of different NFTs basically, but they would be different music, different selections of the music or something.
You know,
Yes, how many
during
yeah, it's the
this,
same song, but every time you played it was different, right?
this is the thing. During this project, I have developed some way to make music that is really almost a different rate. So I think one of the most interesting things with this is another version of Manolita. With this technology is really interesting to can catch all these different music. Actually, is an instant. It have the music. You can't catch the music. You can record some arrangement, but the real music is that is happening when you put your things in the Wi-Fi, and the music downloads, and it's always different.
Yes.
So maybe the technology can allow us to evaluate this and share this in the real way, that in the real value that this music has.
I love it. And I'm a little bit of a musician myself. Not secure enough to come start playing right now. but
Okay.
I do love jamming, and I love that Frank Zappa likened music to decorating a piece of time. You're decorating a piece of time, and that music that you're playing right now, it's never going to be exactly the same the next time you play. And you're right, you can do a lot of production on a recording and get a polished product that you want to distribute, maybe, but it's not the same as the live performance. That's why people come to see the live performance, even though they can buy the record. They want to see the artist. There's a connection there in time that you can't have outside of that. How
Absolutely.
that
And there's,
translates to an NFT, I don't know.
I don't know, but there's something also magical in the ritual of being together and making music, because me as musician, I feel that the music that I download, it depends on where I am, with who, wait. So actually we all are making this music, for example, in this space, on the computer, no? So I think one of the most interesting uses that we can have of technology is to recover the importance that rituals of being together and sharing the music, sharing the like the meeting has, because that's how technology can support us as humanity, as human beings, bring together.
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of it is the interaction. That's the beauty of music. That's why I don't really care for the AI generated music and what's going on with that. Yes, you can get some interesting stuff to play along to, right? And consistent, and the timings, and it can do a lot of cool things, but it's not the same experience as interacting with somebody else and playing music with them. And it's a form of engagement, just like having a conversation, music, in my experience. And it's almost like I've heard someone suggest it is actually the first art, music, and the interaction with sound.
Absolutely.
Haddy, you've
Yes.
been quiet, and I know you have questions, sir. So why don't you ask away?
I have so many questions. What I'd like to start off with is I'm trying to understand so you have an NFT, which then allows you access to all the seasons, or is it just that you can interact with the latest season on editing? I want
The
to just see the prop.
Ania?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, sure. So the NFT allows you to participate in the production of season 4 of the show. Yeah. So
Okay.
Clara mentioned that there were 3 other seasons before the one that started during the pandemic. That was the isolated one. She didn't go into the details, but they had amazing seasons 2 and 3 that were in the national TV in Argentina, where they had participating there the most prominent musicians in Argentina of that season. And season 4 is the one that they did outside of Argentina, traveling around Europe. And there was a really good team that went with Clara and captured those conversations and music. And the people that get the NFT gets access to a lot of the unedited material and help work with the team of Music for Science on deciding what parts are going to make it to the episodes, what parts are not, what music is going to go with this and that. So it allows participating in the production, and then they're going to get the credit as well as associate producers when this comes out as well. So that their name, if they choose, people can choose to be anonymous. Yeah, but if whoever wants can show up in the credits as well as participating in the production.
And do they also get access to the previous seasons?
The
All
previous
those available
seasons
somewhere?
they are available in our web. It's musicaporlaciencia.org. There you have the first 3 seasons. So what you get with this NFT is to be part of our Discord channel, and there we have one channel for producers. And I want to say that we are so beginners, so we haven't do that before. So we are trying to find how, and it depends on how the people arrives, because there are people that have no idea about technology, and there are people that knows a lot of projects with NFT. So we are trying to combine these 2 worlds in small decisions that brings us the possibility to learn how to I mean, we have learned so much, and we are learning, but we are a team that is so to receive suggestions and questions, and to help people that don't know about technology. So we are trying to see how people arrives and how we can integrate them in this production process.
Perfect. For Peace and I, who don't necessarily know Spanish, are there going to be subtitles for us so we can learn along too? Because I really love what you guys are doing. So for me personally, I don't want to go and learn Spanish to be able to listen to it, but it'd be amazing to have subtitles so that I could hear and learn all this amazing stuff. Is one thing I would love to see. And the other thing was, when you were in Paris and Barcelona and you were talking to all these extremely intelligent people, were you also talking about the frequency of music and how that plays a part in accessing information and being able to absorb information?
That's a very good question. We haven't talked about this explicit, but there's something very magical in the conversation, especially when I talk with someone who comes with from science. There's something that opens when music sounds. There's something in the space and in the conversation that just music can open, and so we connect each other with a human frequency that equilibrates us, makes an equilibrium between us. And we haven't talked explicit about this, but it would be very interesting for next season to have a conversation about the frequency and what happened when we listen some type of music.
Yeah, well, I think the beauty of what you guys have put together is that we as a species have always communicated through sound, and that sound has transcended into music, where we've used things to make sounds to transport information across time. So I love what you guys are doing, because I think it's far more interactive. And the last thing is, who are you targeting? So who's your target audience? I know you said the general public, but is it sort of more children, or have you got, is it different layers?
It's a very good question also. Our community manager is not here, but if she would here, it would be a very good question. Look, I think Aníbal can, but I can answer also the question. But in my view, it's like the sensible people to art that receive is our target. And there are so many people that receive my music and the music that I make. But I would say that people that is looking for consciousness somehow, some way, this kind of people is the target that I see. I don't know, what do you think, anyone, about our target people?
I think homeschooling would be really good, like targeting children who are homeschooled, especially come out of COVID. This would be amazing. And another thing I wanted to touch on is, I love the fact that you are taking stories from Argentina and making them immutable on chain. That's what I'd love to see, where that is there forever and people will never forget the story because it's always there for them to come and enjoy. So that's another thing that I really enjoy about it, is that it'll be immutable on chain. Oh, have we got somebody here?
We've got somebody here. I'm not exactly sure who it is, but I think you guys know who it is.
Hi, Vicky. Yes, I named her and she appeared. She's Vicky. She's helping us
You
with the
summoned her.
communication.
You summoned her. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Victoria from Argentina. I am in Barcelona.
Very nice. Very nice. Welcome today. So I'm assuming you're part of the Music for Science project and helping them with are you here to tell us who the target audience is?
Well, I am quite new at the team, but I am very connected with Clara because I was like a fan of her. So I think I am the target. Like
Excellent. Me too, actually. I'm also the target audience, apparently, because I'm a huge fan.
Mostly we are Argentinian people all around the world. That we are like connected with our country and with our culture. Also, because folklore, I don't know if you have talking about the genre of the music Clara makes. It's like a type of music very typical from Argentina. And well, you will sing, Clara?
I have seen some things, but it's really interesting what you're bringing because, yes, go on.
Yes, it's like a like folk from Argentina. So if you are connected with this type of music, maybe you are the target. In if we are talking about music, about Manuelitas and all the NFT, I think that, for example, Aníbal, that is more in charge of technology and science, could be also a target, because here are the fans and the community of culture and music and the community of science. So we are like an hybrid target.
Right. Probably, yeah, like everyone that likes to tinker with things. I really like to tinker with things, and for like this type of project of where you can participate in assembling an episode of Music for Science or have a say in what's going to happen is something that it's really cool to do. So yeah, that's a question I think we've been discussing within the Music for Science team as well. What is the target audience? Because the messaging changes, and we don't. Often it's hard to decide if you. For example, now we're having this conversation in English, and Haddy, you brought up a very important point that all of the content is in Spanish, but yeah, the idea is to have everything subtitled as well, and that this is getting easier now to get everything subtitled.
Right, so the tools available. Yeah, AI will do that for us in a couple minutes, actually.
Yeah, even I assume dubbing But I guess for the music that doesn't work, but for the conversation you can dab as well.
Right. Yes, yes, exactly. But I love so the music. It's a folk music, but I hear a bunch of different genre influences in there. I hear jazz, I hear blues, I hear, obviously like there's the folky side of things too. And just it's beautiful though. I love the music. And music is universal. It really can speak to everybody, right? But the target audience. So what you indicated earlier was one of the challenges you're having is getting the people interested in the music to function with the wallet and actually continue engaging with it, which is actually a problem, I think, across the spectrum for crypto in general. But part of what's going to do this is the artists coming to the space like you. Reese, I don't know if is a visual artist. He's part of our community. He said hi a little while ago in the group chat. And there's tons of artists and creators and creatives coming into the space and bringing content and also entertainment. Like a lot of the game design stuff is coming, and that's going to be what holds the audience here, having more content to engage with in this space. So just keep doing what you're doing. And then the devs are building out fast blocks and more functionality. I know SBTC doesn't probably affect your project very much, but that will bring more people to the space. And then having your project here for them to find when they're not using SBTC anymore because they've already kind of deployed that. Oh, there's this going on in the space, and oh, there's that going on in the space. And also there's a lot more UI UX, like user interface development that needs to happen, but that's also happening in the space. So it's to encourage you, because I think what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. I love it. The music is beautiful. The ethos and the concepts behind it is amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's coming. Everything's coming. It's not going to happen overnight, but you just keep chipping away. And now, you started 4 years ago, and look where you are now. You've come a long way, I'm sure, from zero. So
I want to say thank you for having us here. And I think our goals when we started were, successful NFT collection and combine this with our season. But in the path, in the way, we find out that actually our human blockchain that help us to, even though they don't understand exactly how it works, but it help us to arrive, to communicate, to connect people, because our real purpose, it's to connect the worlds. I mean, I haven't been interested on technology particularly, but I understand that this is a tool very, very useful to new communities, even though I don't understand how I can use it. And
yes,
and I understand that there's a lot of communities with amazing projects that are so far from technologies, because there's a lot of Jews, like thinking that technology is that or this, or I mean, it's like connecting people and understanding that we all can put our projects that, even though we don't understand exactly what they are doing, we feel they are connecting words. And I mean, we are in where there's a lot of new who has to be constructed by us. I mean, we have to construct new education system, art system, new science system, new system that contact people and brings people together in a new way, because the way that we have been
governance, there's all sorts of, we're building out these models now, and so that's why you guys are putting in tremendously good work. This is what needs to be done. So for the end user, when we won't really be able to mass onboard people until it's just an app on their phone where they press a button and it does what they're expecting, and they don't have to think about it. Most people don't need to know how the blockchain works to use the blockchain. Until we get there, it's going to take a lot of work like this, but this work has to happen for us to get there. So thank you. You are doing an awesome job. I love the music. I'm so glad your voice is beautiful. The music is inspiring. Aníbal, thank you so much for bringing us on here today. I'm not wrapping up. I'm just that's just where I am in my head. I think what you guys are building is great, and I can't say it enough. We are getting close to having been on an hour. Nick usually is very flexible with us and lets us go a little bit longer. And even if he has to leave, I can run the show. So we don't need him. We don't need you, Nick. We just want you. I just want to reiterate that. We love having you here. But I do want to be respectful of all of your time too. I don't want to keep you on, obligate you longer than you need to be. So I'll let you guys go through and anything else you want to let us know about, or that we should be aware about upcoming for your projects, or any of that stuff.
Thank you to all this community that has supported us. Thank you to Hero Gamer and to all the people that had support this project, and all the people, even you guys. Thank you for having us here and letting us speak about the project. And yes,
I think that the pattern that unites all of us finally is like the sensitivity of music and a type of lifestyle, because if we have to make an ad on Instagram, it's difficult, because of course we have the target of age, locations, and nationality, but it's like the connection. It's like the vibe that you feel when you see Clara singing, for example.
You're absolutely right. It's an emotion you cannot there's an authenticity there. You know, you can't fake you can't fake it. It's real. And that's kind of something that's lacking to some degree in our society and our social interactions on other social media content. And I'll tell you, our broadest audience is on X, and my engagement on X personally is for the last year has led me to engaging and meeting a bunch of people that it is an authentic place. You know, I'm finding it is one place that is actually an authentic you can have authentic experiences and actually engage with people authentically in a way that we've had kind of taken away from us versus the original advent. I'm old, so I remember when the internet came around and it was a lot more open and you could engage in different ways, and it's been kind of consolidated and controlled, and we kind of have this. I think we're at the precipice of a new opening up of these tools, and we can bring people together and in ways that are very exciting to me. What we have here, but you said the vibe, and you can't fake that. Like, and even just listening to her, I listened to her video, one of her recently posted videos earlier today, this morning, and it was beautiful. And I'm like, oh man, she's coming on to sing. This is great. I can't wait. She's awesome. But it didn't move me as much as listening to you live while I'm here engaging with you. Nothing can do that.
Nothing compares to you, Clara.
True.
There's something important. I mean, bringing people to and knowing that we all are learning, and to be humble and to recognize that we don't have the answers. We are finding them while we walk. So there's a lot of, and we think that this is a good way, but maybe there are another projects that can work together, and sometimes it's not the money that helps people, it's connecting people. in an technical in an authentic way is even more useful than that money actually. So the like what we with this collection was much more than things that we expected. It was a whole community supporting and feeling that we are supporting our projects together, because we all are projects and we are working together and collaborating and nourishing our individual projects also. So this equilibrium between the individual project and the collective projects have to be watch out with this equilibrium also. I say it to me.
Yeah, I love that though, because it's actually very similar to where we got our start with DeOrganized. Aníbal came out of the D Grants project. This part of this came out of the D Grants project. I came along in cohort 2 on D Grants, and I started paying attention to the spaces on X because I was like, oh, this is people that are building new projects and they're applying for grants, and I just was curious about learning what they were building, and I started engaging in the conversations on X because they're open conversations and you can come up and ask questions. And I started asking questions, and I found that my feedback on their projects was valuable to them. So I started doing that more, just kind of helping people out. I'm a little bit, some of my skill is in communications, and I can help people formulate how they want to, maybe the good talking points and what they're trying to put out there, and helping them sell their idea, or not sell in a monetary sense, but just kind of help people understand what they're building and what they're trying to build. And part of that, I started to promote the idea of people applying. We're trying to get maximum applications for the process. So I'm like telling people, oh yeah, you should apply. Even if you're just thinking about a project, go ahead and apply for a grant. It can help you just even come up with the idea phase and everything. And as I'm like constantly telling people to apply, I'm like, maybe I should go through the application process and see what I'm actually encouraging people to do so I can speak to it more readily. And I was like, all right, I'll just put together this fake idea of I'm going to write articles and host spaces and spotlight projects building in the space. And in the course of developing that, I did it and I submitted an application and I requested no money. I requested just support from the Stacks community. And with no money, although they did actually give me $140. I received it yesterday. Thank you, Hero.
You were forced to take it.
I was forced to take it. Well, I mean, I was willing to take it since I'll take $140 worth of Stacks. I'm in the acres. I got to eat too. But that's not what it was about. And we've been successful not because of the $140, but because the community is supporting the project and the community is engaging with us. And it's not just me, and it's Haddy and it's LMNO that helped us line up. He's now scheduling stuff for us. And it's Jack, who is super busy, but still makes time a lot of the time to join us on these shows. And now I got Good Kitty's going to do her show. And we got Giga Pepe's coming on the morning show. And we got
Reese.
Mike Jagdeo, Reese coming on all the time. Mike Jagdeo is going to do his AI show. Landy's going to come on and start doing a TA show. And now we have this, we're really like a broadcast network. We're going to connect a bunch of people with a bunch of different content that value adds to our community. And it's all just from support. The value in it is not monetary yet. Hopefully there will be some, right? Because again, we all got to eat. Can't do stuff for free forever. But it's not all about the money. The value in the network is the value's in the network. The money's secondary.
While we are constructing these projects, we realize that actually the real value, the real money is attention. I mean, you can't imagine how you are to listen project and to bring it into your space can transform this project. Maybe with a lot of things that are much more than money. So I think one of the things that brings us these new technologies is to reflect what the value of money is compared to human blockchains working together to listen, to support, to let them appear, to help them to appear. That's the real resource, and I think we are entering in an era where all are going to realize that this is the real money. Attention, and thank you
It's like
for
a
the
currency.
space. Like a currency.
I think that it's like a currency of movement and circulation because, for example, I have a cultural center in Barcelona, and I am founder, but also I am like collaborator in Clara's project. So it's like a role play that here I have a position, but with her I am helping. And then she comes to Barcelona and she makes a show that make a lot of movement, but not in money currency. But it's like then I have another artist that come because so Clara. So it's like circulation, and sometimes it's like indirect transactions in terms of money, but finally it's like a way of making money.
Right. Not all value is monetary. And money is really just stored energy. It's a representation of stored energy. So, however you can release stored energy, you can, if you can focus that energy into a productive outlet. And sometimes that stored energy is in plucking a string. It's the same thing, by the way. When you pluck a string, you're releasing stored up energy. The tension of the string is stored up energy. The scientist appreciates that. I don't know if how that works in chemistry, but it's a beautiful thing you guys are doing, and we're kind of on the same wavelength. That's why this has been a great conversation.
It's a beautiful thing what we all are doing actually, because we all are part of net. So thank you. Really, absolutely.
Yes, beautiful stuff. I am super excited to see where you guys go. I'm happy to have you guys come back and chat with us again some other time, soon and often. Love having you on. It is a little bit past the hour, and I do want to respect it. Haddy.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to segue off what the first thing I wanted to say was eloquently said, Clara, that we are but human blockchains, that we're all interconnected. And I think that's so fitting of everything, the same as peace, love. And this part is built up. It's only because of that human blockchain that we are where we are today, sitting, having this conversation together. So I really love that human blockchain. One thing I wanted to ask is, when are you looking at releasing the 4th season? Have you got a timeline so that people kind of know?
Yes.
To get involved?
By the end of November, we hope to have a trailer. It's not a trailer. How do you say? A teaser of all the chapters.
Teaser, yeah.
Yes, a teaser with all the chapters, and like a 15 minutes piece with 5 chapters of 3 minutes each one, so people can more or less with translations, with subtitles, so people can more or less see what's the project about. And by the end of November is our goal to
Deadline.
Yes, and to start to engage the people and see how the people can collaborate with the documentary.
Perfect. So 2 questions I have following from that, and I'm going to rope peace into this. Number 1, can we have you back when you have that ready at the end of November, and we can showcase it here so we can push it out for you? And
Please.
2, when you have the premiere, will you come back again?
The avant premiere, can we make it here?
Yes. Would you
Yes.
make a premiere with us?
We
So
would,
The avant
teaser
premiere and the showcase.
absolutely, absolutely. We would love it.
We would love
We
to have
can
you
bring,
back.
we can bring Luciano. He's our most word turtle, and he's the editor. He's editing all the pieces, and he's a huge part of the team. And maybe he can come. And he doesn't speak
That'd be
English, but he can communicate.
That's all
We're
right.
planning.
We're patient. If we need one of you guys to interpret for him, we can wait. We're not going anywhere. We're happy, and we can host up to. We tested out the max on our system the other day we had a marathon live election, U.S. election coverage event on Tuesday night, and we can run up to 10 people at once going live. So you guys bring whoever you want, and we'll make room for them.
yeah. We've got a green room they can wait in.
That didn't work actually.
Oh.
But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah, but people can start engaging and getting their Manuelita going to our Discord. They can go to our Discord even if they don't have the Manuelita and interact with the team
Yes.
and find out more about the project
What is
anytime.
the Discord? What is the Discord?
If you go to the Manuelita Twitter account that is on display there, there's the link to the Discord there
Okay.
on Twitter. Yep. Yeah, Discord is probably the easiest way to reach us right now.
And it's on your X. I think it's on the X, isn't it? In X, you can find the link to the Discord as well.
Yeah, on X.
Right. So Manuelita.btc or Manuelita BTC at Manuelita BTC.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to share it in the stream and put it up there as well. The Discord link for people.
Yep.
So
And
if they want to
on
YouTube.
when the season when the next season premieres, that might be like for the full thing, probably closer to the summer of next year. Would you say, Clara? Because we were thinking of having the Music for Science team coming to the East Coast of the US. We could do something live in person.
Absolutely.
If that materializes.
Yes.
Maybe we can go to visit you, Steve.
Well, yeah, we figure it out. Maybe we'll have. Haddy was mentioning we maybe by that time we'll have DeOrganized Media Studios actually be a thing. But I'm only about a 3-hour drive from New York City. So if you're in New York, I could come to you too. If everyone's flying into New York, which probably makes sense for international gatherings.
Aníbal makes very good asados, so I think it's a very good idea to visit him.
Yeah, so
You know what asado is?
There's
Like
a
a
tree in
barbecue.
between, but I have a huge fire pit in the back. I've had 30 people here in the past barbecuing at home, so we can do something at home too.
And we can have a giant jam session. I'll bring my guitar and we can
Perfect.
all play.
Have we got a stage at the back there?
A jam
Let's do
session.
it.
A jam.
Yes.
Yes. We have the jam. That's
Heck, yes.
When we eat together and make music together, that's when the human blockchain materializes in the reality, So
That's
when
life.
the when the wave becomes physical and we say yes, that's
Okay.
why we are doing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying hashing. We're going to hashing the human
Absolutely.
blockchain.
Right.
Hashing the
Yeah. So
human
we
blockchain.
need good beef, a good Malbec red wine, and music.
And I'll bring some other stuff that people can share or not.
Maybe can
It's up to you.
maybe can help.
Sounds good.
The magic.
Yes, we'll bring
Yeah.
some magical items.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, whiskey and other things. Nick's asking whiskey. Yeah, that's I can get that in New York. But yes, this has been an awesome show. I'm so glad you guys joined me. Thank you so much for coming out today. Any last words? Is there anything that we didn't cover on for any of you guys? I think we kind of went around everything that I know about, but any last words you want to say before we wrap up? Aníbal, I'll start with you.
I just wanted to say thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and we're very thankful as well for what you're doing. You're helping bring the community together, and in the end, many of us came into the space because of the money side and stayed for the community, and that's something that you're helping bring together. So very thankful.
Well, yes, and thank you for recognizing that, and you're welcome. I mean, thank you guys for supporting me. I am here for the community too. I mean, there's not quite any. I haven't experienced anything quite like what Stax community is like. Very engaging, very collaborative, very supportive of each other. Don't get me wrong, there's some competition and there's some personality conflicts because it is life and we are humans. But I love doing what I'm doing, and then I also get to meet awesome people like you and you guys and what you're building and learn about projects that what you guys are building. So very rewarding for me. But yes, thank you for saying that. I'm sorry. Was it Victoria? What was
I
your
am Victoria.
Victoria. What?
But my space is Lemuria. That's why I am Lemuria. I am a continent also.
You are the living missing Lemuria continent?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
I am the Lemuria blockchain.
Follow her. It's really interesting what she's doing in Barcelona. So I'm glad that we all are meeting here, because I think we all are projects that deserve to be visualized and to be lights for others that are looking for this kind of spaces and communities. So thank you, Vicky. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And for supporting
Vicky,
us.
what is your Twitter handle?
Vitus is VITUSSSS 4S. Vitus.
At Victus with 4 S's. Is that it on the screen? Is that correct?
I can write.
No.
And Clara, also thank you to the people that trust the NFT system because of you.
Thank you.
Because there are a lot of people that, for example, I am not used to NFT and I am a young person. But in Argentina, there are lots of people that start discovering NFT world because of the music.
We hope we can bring a bridge between technology and new technologies in music. It would be great.
I love what you're working on, Clara, and I love your singing voice. I'm so happy that you came out, and thank you so much for sharing with us today multiple songs. I'm super excited to see where you guys are with this, and please do keep in touch, and when anytime you have anything that you want to communicate out, reach out to us and we'll get it out there. You guys can come visit, you can come on a morning show, we can do a special show, whatever. Even if it's a Twitter space, we'd love to have you guys out. I wonder if you have one more song for us.
Yes,
absolutely.
Always.
For my friend Aníbal, I will dedicate it. And yes, thank you. I hope that this seed that we are planting with this conversation finds the way to become a huge tree. Thank you. And this is a traditional song. Alfredo Citarrosa is a songwriter, very famous, very popular in Latin America. He wrote beautiful songs, and he wrote this song for the people that is far away from home. So I want to dedicate it to my friend Aníbal. No te olvides el pago si te vas para la ciudad. Cuanti más lejos te vayas, más te tienes que acordar. Cierto que hay muchas cosas que pueden olvidar, pero algunas son olvido y otras son cosas nomás. No eches en la maleta lo que no vayas a usar. Son más largos los caminos para el que va cargado de más. Y ahora que somos hito y hábitats como el que más, no cambié nunca de trillo aunque no tengas pa' fumar. Y si sentís tristeza cuando mires para atrás, no te olvides que el camino es pa'l que viene y pa'l que va. No te olvides del pago si te vas para la ciudad. Cuanti más lejos te vayas, más te tienes que acordar. Cuanti más lejos te vayas, más te tienes que acordar. Cuanti más lejos te vayas, más te tienes que acordar.
Beautiful, very beautiful.
Gracias.
So nice. My goodness. Well, thank you so
Incredible.
much. Thank you. This has been an
you.
amazing show. I'm so happy you came out. Great to meet all of you. I'm happy I have some new friends, and I do consider you friends. And I'm looking forward to engaging with you more soon and often. I'm going to wrap it up. Haddy, do you have anything last words before I wrap it up? I think we're kind
all
of
I have to say, the only thing I have to say, which is I want to follow what Hero said, is awesome music, amazing. The project is incredible. I really like Peace. I want to follow on and say I really want to hear more about it. I really want to hear when you come out and come back to us so we can hear more about it and share your story with more people. And I do really want to go to Argentina, but that's for the rugby as well.
Okay, interesting. Yes.
And for the steak.
Okay.
I hear there's some decent cattle ranches down there.
Yeah, but for the rugby.
Yes, there are.
Thank you guys all so much. Thank you, Haddy. Thank you, Nick from Bitcoin Live. Aníbal, Clara, Victoria.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming out today. I love the project. I love the space. I love what you guys are doing, and I love bringing this out to our audience. We've had a good turnout, and thank you again. We'll talk to you soon. I am Peace Love Music, and we are DeOrganized Media coming at you on Bitcoin Live, Decentralized Broadcasting, another excellent show produced by the Stacks community for the Stacks community. You all have a blessed day, and Nick, take us out.